Quorum. Six, we have a quorum. This is the EDC. First on the agenda is to go over the meeting minutes from our last meeting. If you could put those up, Valerie, that would be great.
So I actually did not have time to get to them, so no minutes today.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll skip that then. No problem.
Did we want to figure out someone to take minutes for us today during this meeting?
Oh yeah, sure. I don't know. This isn't permanent, but just for today, can Sean or Amy or Larry, one of you guys, just take minutes down, and you could forward them to Valerie at the end of the meeting. Doesn't have to be fancy.
I'm driving. I can't do it.
Do it.
That's great. Thank you, Sean.
Great. Perfect. All right. So next up, I can see, are all the Bolton Robotics? I can see Abby and Lydia and Sean. It looks like a bunch of you guys are here, so we'll jump right into that. So just as a quick preamble, I'm also a coach of the Bolton, one of the robotics teams, not this particular one. As part of the program, they have to have like an innovation project, and they have to present it to judges and stuff, but also they like to present it either to town boards or, to whoever would be interested and who can give them feedback to help them with that. So I guess we could start off with, oh, and the other thing is I would like to congratulate them along with all the other Bolton Robotics teams that, so there's a qualifier this past Saturday to get to Robonautica, which is at WPI, and all 4 Bolton teams qualified, which is only the top 25% of teams to move on to the States. So congratulations on that, guys and girls.
That's great. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I guess maybe we can go through some introductions first. I guess maybe start with the EDC first. So I'm Eric. Some of you may know me. So if you guys want to go through on the board.
Sure. I'm Sean Woods. I just actually joined recently. Just moved to town about a year ago. So it's nice to meet you all.
I'm Amy Ballowitz. I'm driving, so you can't see me, but I do know some of you. So good job. Glad to have you.
Sean.
I'm Sean Sorrell. I've been in Bolton about 5 years. Got 2 boys, 4 and 2, so they're very into robots. I'm gonna give them an update on what you guys are working on.
I'm Larry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Eric?
Yep. Yeah, okay, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm Larry Cedroni. I've been here almost 2 years. I have a 25-year-old daughter, so that may tie more into. I don't know that much about robotics, but I'm interested to listen.
Yeah, well, they'll talk about their project, so it's more related closely to what we're doing. But so if you guys can introduce yourselves and give you a team name and all that stuff, that'd be great.
So I'm Lydia, and then this is our mom and the project coach.
I'm here running the computer for the kids. I am here, just out of screen. I'm Sam.
And I'm Abby.
I'm AJ. I'm also on the team.
I'm Allison.
I'm John.
I'm Sean.
And you guys all together are?
The Mass Cadet.
No, you're not.
The Cargo Cadet.
We have had kind of the same name progressively evolving over the years. So yeah, we get confused a lot. Yeah, we're the Cargo Cadets.
All right. Well, great. So I guess you can run it how you want to run it. If you want to tell us a little bit, overall about your innovation project and what you guys have to do, but then if you want to jump into your presentation, that would be perfect.
So go ahead, AJ, take it away.
Okay. Sorry, I have to get set up real quick. Okay. So this year we focus on the problem of the environmental impact shipping and packaging have on the world. Shipping by water alone produces an unbelievable 1 billion metric tons of carbon every single year. And in 2020 alone, Amazon delivered 4.2 billion packages across the world. Scientists believe that by 2050, all shipping will account for an astounding 17% of the world's greenhouse gases. As a team, we knew we needed to change this for our futures. So we all came together and brainstormed multiple ways to solve this problem, such as helping people buy locally, finding new ways to reuse cardboard, and designing new types of packing materials. We did some research and learned that many people already reuse cardboard in many ways. Cardboard is already known to be compostable, and there are many different types of packing materials that are better for the environment. After voting, we decided to help people solve this problem by helping people shop locally.
This is one bar of soap made 2 miles from my house. This is another made in China over 7,000 miles from my house. As you can probably guess, the soap that was made locally has a much smaller carbon footprint than the one made all the way across the world. We need to know why people might buy soap from China rather than soap from Bolton. So we created a survey to find out why people might not shop locally, where they were already shopping, and if they were interested in buying locally more often. We posted the survey on our local Facebook pages and local robotics social media platform. We got 32 responses, which told us that people shop on Amazon and at chain stores most often. The main reason people don't buy locally is that it's inconvenient, they don't know where to buy things, or they think what they want to buy is not available locally. To help eliminate these obstacles, our team decided to create a website where local businesses can share about what they sell and local shoppers can see what businesses are around, where to buy things, and what things are available. We talked about maybe wanting businesses to sell things on our website or have delivery service available, but decided that was a little bit too complicated for us.
We then visited our local farmers market, Backyard Bolton. We surveyed all 23 businesses that were there to see if they might be interested in advertising their products on our website. 22 said yes, and we gathered their contact information. But we had a problem. None of us knew how to make a website. So we did some research online about different website platforms. We talked with our coaches, and then we talked to an expert, a web designer in Pennsylvania. We learned about WordPress, WYSIWYG, Angie's List, and other cool things. We learned about how we could put a search bar into our website, an interactive map, and different filters.
Using a Raspberry Pi, we had help from one of our coaches loading WordPress onto it. We learned how to do some basic design in that format, but we started to run out of time. Did we freak out? Goodness no. We problem solved and decided to use Google Sites, a program we already knew how to use to create a prototype. To help us gather the information we needed for our website, we created another survey. This one was to collect information from the local businesses and photos so that we could put onto our website.
We interviewed Mr. Nayland, and he said that he loved our idea and emailed to say that you were excited to receive our finished project. In order to advertise our website, we presented our final product to a group of over 70 parents and other students at an exposition that we helped host in town. And now Abby will tell you about the website.
So we're gonna share our screens. This might take a second.
Oh, is it possible to give me screen share ability?
Yes, yeah, sorry, I'll change that. All right, you should be able to now.
Let's see, one sec. Usually the one on the other end of this. There we go.
Our website, Bolton Buy Local, has a homepage with pictures for all of the businesses, as you can see. Each photo, when clicked, links to individual business pages. When you click on the individual business, you find their name, what they sell, pictures, forms of payment accepted, a small business bio, where you can find their products, and whether they ship or not. At the top of the homepage,
Let me show another page.
so here's another page. At the top of the homepage, there are different categories. such as home goods, services, and clothes, that are there to help people find what they're hoping to buy locally. There's a map on there as well if you scroll down that is there, and we're hoping to make it interactive so that people can see where businesses are relative to where they might be. We currently have 10 businesses represented on our website and counting. We also have a page with links to other businesses in our area's websites for the ones that have not completed our survey yet. As you can see, this is still a work in progress. We also intend to add a page about why you should shop local and an about our team website. Here you can see that we have posted the survey that businesses can fill out with all the information to add a page onto the website. We hope that the next time you shop, you visit Bolton Buy Local. Thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
Does anybody on the EDC want to start, or I could start?
I'll start by just saying thank you. I think this is great, what you guys were able to pull together. And, it honestly, it looks great. I was like, oh, how could we actually, end up using this? I think for the Backyard Bolton, that was a way we tried to connect the community. So it's really great to see that you all were able to kind of take this and run with it and present it to us. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, for me, as somebody who's new to town, I'm not familiar with all the local businesses in the area yet. So this is a really cool resource for people like me who just moved here and would like to kind of figure out where I can buy things and not, supporting Amazon, supporting the local community instead. So it's really, really cool work that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think I talked to a couple of you how we do have the Destination Bolton has a website, but it's related more to the brick and mortar businesses. And what's not represented at all is the in-home very small businesses. Like I think you showed Newgrange Farm there. So, I mean, that's not really represented at all on the format of our website. So for, I think 2 or 3 years, we've been talking about, it'd be great to add this extra tab where small and home businesses can enter in their information and it can automatically be posted up on our website. So what you have created here as a team is almost exactly what we had been talking about and saying that we needed in town. So I think that this is great, and I would love to be able to share this, when you're fully ready to go. I would love to be able to share this on destinationboltonmass.com, our website, as like the Bolton Buy Local tab. So I really think that you guys did a great job with your, design and your plans and your follow through. So it's very impressive, and it's great to see the product finishing.
So Eric, what would you need from the team in terms of steps to make that sort of handoff happen?
So our site is like hosted on, I forget even the name of the host, but it could be as simple as just, we could link to this site. I don't necessarily need to copy everything over. So if you want to manage this, I think you said it's on the school website.
Yeah, so we're currently in the process of trying to extract it. So the team, right. I don't know if any of my team want to explain kind of like the obstacle we would run up against with the school. Go ahead, AJ.
Right.
Yeah, so the school has like a very strict firewall where a lot of programs are blocked, both that and you can't exactly share anything out of the district. So we can't share the website that was made on a school account or multiple school accounts out to the world. So I think we're in the process of downloading it and then re-uploading it on an account that's not monitored by the school.
Yeah. So we figured out how to post. I don't know if do you have a webmaster, or who does the web design for your current site?
So I don't know if any of you guys know Lisa Miller. She had a company called Ladybugs, and then she was like 3 Media Web in town. She was in town. She actually created our website. In the past few years, we have been so busy that we haven't really. I have access to update it, and other people on the EDC have access to update it, but we've had a hard time updating it. So I could update it myself.
Yeah.
We use WordPress. It sounds like you didn't put it on WordPress, so it wouldn't be super easy for me to just fold this in to it. But if you could get whatever format you export it out to.
Yeah, because I can export static HTML, which I think you can then upload onto WordPress. The other option, I don't know what, so the Google is what it's Google Sites is currently what it was created on. I can also pull static HTML and recreate it for a Google site. Then, I mean, I don't know how easy it is to add pages. It's very simple in this format to add thumbnails and everything. So that would be another option. And I don't know, does the committee have an a web address?
Well, I mean, we have the Destination Bolton website. I don't know if you guys ever looked at it.
Yeah, we did look at it. What I'm curious is whether there's a Gmail account or.
Oh, you could just get a hold of me. That's fine.
Google's linked to that because I could certainly the plan is to pull it off before states. I can recreate it in the Google site, and then I can share it and pass it along to any Google.
If you give me a link, I could update that pretty quickly. Try to get it into the website. If I just link to it. So if you just give me if you just host it wherever you're going to host it, and I can link to it, that would be the easiest, quickest thing to do.
Yeah. In terms of feasibility of the team being able to long-term continue updates and whatnot, I'm not sure if the team's ability sort of long-term to maintain said website. That said, if you guys, I don't know if you have a list of local businesses that maybe haven't hit us up to fill the survey before the end of the season, the team could undoubtedly create additional pages if there are other businesses or service providers in town that are interested.
We could talk about the long term, whether we just link to it, and then if you guys move on and we just take it over, or you know what, I don't know. In the short term, leading up to states, I could get it linked, and we could decide from there what to do.
Yeah, so it sounds like the easiest option is I'll pull it out, re-scaffold it within the Google Sites format, and then at that point the QR code that you see on the screen will work, and all of those that will be publicly accessible.
That would be the quickest and easiest thing to do. You pull it out, host it somewhere, and give me a link.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Any other feedback from you guys of things that the website might benefit from having, or it's sort of additional information to put on?
Yeah. So I gave my comments before, which was to add the entry form, which I think you did.
Yep, that's
you showed it to us.
The survey in blue here.
Yeah. So people can enter in originally we were thinking it would be like even an automatic thing, but this is fine. it goes in and goes through an administrator. And then I was just saying for fun, it would, if you had like a business of the month thing, a highlighted business or.
And they did the featured site of the month.
That's cool.
Which is very easy to change.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are my comments, but I think you guys did an amazing job. You presented really well. You all had a great part. I know going through with team thought process, it took a while for us to get our presentation well and get it within the 5-minute limit. So I know it's a lot of work, and you guys, everybody did great on Saturday. So I look forward to the 18th when you guys all of us will be, the team I coach, and you guys will be competing at Robonautica, which is a big deal.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, guys. If there's additional feedback or ideas, I can send Eric the team's Gmail account for email.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you for presenting.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
energy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Good job, team. You're off duty tonight.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
Bye. Okay. So also on the agenda, we had to talk about vacancies and stuff, but I was hoping we could squeeze in the Wreaths stuff really quick. It necessarily wasn't on the agenda, but Valerie has ordered 30 Wreaths, which I think you said are available, Valerie?
Yes, they're ready to be picked up at Bolton Robotics.
Wreaths and bows or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think in the past, Rick had done it because he had a pickup. Maybe?
No, I did it in my minivan, but if somebody has a pickup, it leaves a lot of pine needles in my minivan.
Yeah. I don't have one, but I can.
I could probably borrow one from my neighbor. If
Yeah.
nobody has one. I have two neighbors
Yeah.
with big trucks. So if
Yeah.
nobody has one, then I can take care of that.
And then typically what we had done is got together, attached the bows, and then handed them off to the DPW. The other thing I was wondering is, did we get the twist ties, or did the DPW twist ties the attachments to the poles, or did the DPW do that? I don't remember.
I don't know. We need them for when we do the
Yeah.
wreaths though, but I don't know who got those.
Yeah, I don't know, Valerie, if you have any record of those being ordered, or.
I don't. No.
So maybe I can find something on Amazon Quick or something and get them. Or ask the DPW what they think.
I can text
Maybe, yeah,
Rick.
maybe.
You want me to text Rick? Would he know?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I could also text, I could get a hold of Erica and see what she had done about that. But I think that's the last piece. So typically we got together, put on the bows, and then we handed them off to the DPW. I forget if I know the new DPW director had taken the old ones off. I'm not sure if he was there yet when he put them on last year. I don't quite remember.
I'll reach out to him tomorrow and just have this conversation so that he knows that it's coming up, and just make sure he's familiar with the project. Yeah.
I mean, they typically put up the flags and the banners, the hometown hero banners. So I believe they're familiar with going up and down the road and doing it.
Okay.
So, and they've done it for us like 4 or 5 years now. So, so they should know the process. I guess just ask them if they had got the zip ties or if we, found them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess just send me the latest list of who donated this year. And I'll try to get something in the paper in a letter to the editor or whatever it is.
Sure. I'll let you know when they start to kind of slow down. I got a bunch of checks in the mail today, so it's still kind of coming in. So yeah.
It's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
So when are we going to get together?
I mean, I can't really do anything to the weekend.
Yeah.
So
I can't either.
Yeah. So I guess Saturday probably is the best time. I don't know if you're gonna grab them, Amy, we could meet at your place or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long, like what, an hour maybe?
An hour. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We could do. Are you guys good with Saturday at like 10, or is Sunday better?
I think Saturday's better for me.
Okay.
I'd have to get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we all don't have to go, it could be a few of us. It's fine.
And you can bring, like you guys have young kids, but I have older kids. Like, so if you have kids that want to help, they can come too, because they can help with some of it if they're older.
To feel a part of it. Yeah.
Or bring a friend if you have somebody that wants to help.
Yeah. It doesn't take long just to attach those and prep them.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can let the DPW know that they would have them ready for Monday, which would be
the 13th. Yeah.
The 13th. Yeah. So they can get them up
first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the other thing, I think that's it, unless anybody else has anything else to add to that. I think we're good.
Just the earlier the better. It's
right.
my younger son's birthday on Friday, so I don't know if I'll be able to get out of whatever we're doing Saturday.
That's
Okay.
fine. I mean, if anybody can't make it, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
have something
I can figure it
at
out.
8, but I could definitely be home and ready to go by 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
He agrees.
Yeah, he agrees. Says 10's good. Yeah. So that sounds good. That's a tentative plan. So we were going to talk about vacancies, or, I mean, I don't know if you have any documents updated, Valerie, or you have anything on that, or
No,
what
I
we
don't
want to
have
talk
any.
about?
I don't have any updates. No.
Valerie,
Yeah.
do you have an update on who is purchasing or purchased? I don't know if it's closed yet, but the Main Street property.
Which one?
I know that's Main Street property. The one with the bar, like right near the Common. I can't think of the address right now.
Oh, yes. I don't really have much information. I know that the new owner has been in contact with the Conservation Commission. There's a lot of improvements that need to be done to that property. So they're working with the town.
So this is what, 7-Eleven through 713?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't
So
quite
they
clear to
can't-
me whether they were looking to do a business there or just a residence. But I don't know when the last time a business was there. Do you all know?
So you're talking about the candle shop or the one next to the candle shop?
Next to it.
The one next.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because if it hasn't been a business for over 2 years, they wouldn't be able to be grandfathered. So it would only be able to be a residence.
How is that? I think this came up in the past few years. If that whole complex, the 7-Eleven, 713 Main was all like kind of one property, or if it was individual, like how is that deemed? Like, so there's the candle shop there, but is it?
I think those are 2 separate parcels. I can pull up GIS
Oh.
to see.
I thought they were the same. I mean, different, but under the same owner that was selling them.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure. It was confusing to me.
So what I just because I could share, I heard it was the guy that owned it, his daughter was going to try to put a interior decorating business in there.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a use that would be allowable?
Would it be a storefront or?
I don't know. That's all I heard.
I mean, that sounds kind of like a home office to me. So it sounds fine. But I would have to, sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once. I would have to look at the parcel and just make sure there are no other special permits there. Because if it's possible that there could be a special permit that would allow business regardless of a 2-year gap in use. So I'm not entirely sure, just as they haven't needed to come to my office yet. So
what's the 2-year gap about? I feel like it would deter businesses, right? To say like, oh, you haven't anyone over 2 years, so you missed your window, can't have any more business. Like what constitutes that rule?
So that's you can go ahead, but it's because it's in a residential zone, it's pre-existing non-conforming. So basically, if, like, for instance, the like the Cracker Barrel it was a realty office. So even though it was residential, it was being used as business, like kind of grandfathered in. But if it lapsed, if it went a couple years without a business, then it would go back to its zone state. Is that right, Valerie?
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
But as that example, isn't that what's happening? I guess they winners bought it, and it's probably coming up on years soon.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know when last time there was a business there was. It seems like it's been a bit. I would need to have proof of that too.
I think it, even if they had like kind of unofficial, if it was like an office, on the books or something. But I think the determination goes before the ZBA. Is that right, Valerie? They manage pre-existing non-conforming.
So you're saying if there was not a lapse in use and they wanted to have a special permit to do business there, then they would go through the ZBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and also like if, I don't know, if there was a question of whether it lapsed or whatever, maybe they could talk to the CBA or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they would definitely have to prove. They have to prove
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
What I'm saying is pre-existing non-conforming is kind of in the ZBA's jurisdiction, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a, yeah.
Because it doesn't conform to the zoning anyhow. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I definitely brought up a couple of times on the planning board whether we should look into those properties, and it just seemed difficult. So we stepped away from it, looking at the zoning of those properties. So it is kind of a difficult situation around there for sure.
Yeah, I guess it depends if the new owners, if they were looking to try and get business in, then it would be a good time to maybe try to help them out, right? I mean, because it seems a little silly to say it's okay that you have a business if you've been doing it for decades and decades and it's been continuous, but there's a gap of greater than 2 years, then you can't. Like, it's still the same property. It's either non-conforming, it's either conforming or it isn't. So we're either okay with having businesses there or we're not. But it seems a little, it just seems a little outdated to be like, well, if it's over 2 years, you need to make it a residence.
So I think that the planning answer to that would be the reason is that you're essentially waiting for businesses to leave so that it is all residential, so that then the businesses can be located in the business district. So by, you're saying we only want to have businesses in the business district. So that's kind of why you still have these pre-existing non-conforming businesses, but as we kind of wait for these gaps and lapses in time, we can get back to a residential neighborhood.
We know when that happened, I guess, like in our history. Was it decades ago or was it like 7 years ago?
I have no idea. You guys might know way better than I do.
I think when they came up with the zoning map, 30, 40 years ago, which is, I believe it was just deemed residential.
Yeah.
So it's been
residential. I'm sorry. I thought you meant how long has it been vacant?
No, I meant what Eric was answering. Yeah. When did we make these rules? Like, are they, if it was 5 years ago, I'd be like, obviously that's just how the town felt. We should probably leave it alone. But if it was decades, then it may be worth maybe reevaluating if things have changed.
Yeah. It was definitely decades ago that it was residential, and the planning board has toyed with the idea of it would have to be a bylaw before the town, a rezoning. I know there's the master plan steering committee, which is going on, and maybe Valerie could talk a little bit about this. We got a grant to assess all our zoning districts and different areas in town. So the goal is to, kind of like we've talked the last few meetings, is to understand each area of town and what we feel as a town that it should be. So if I may, I might just describe that grant a little bit. Okay. And I just want to make sure that you're clear too. So it's a strictly a business district assessment. And I think that the analysis of what should be, where our zones should be would be kind of the end, like the next step. So the analysis is really more about learning what the market is, what our trade areas are, and doing outreach to business owners, landowners of the parcels within the business districts, and then also residents, to figure out what are the barriers for businesses, what are the barriers for people trying to lease out space, and then kind of find the balance there with what kinds of businesses the residents want to see. So once we understand that, we can then look a little bit, the analysis will also look at what those obstacles are, which we'll definitely get into the issue of public water and parcel size. And then from there, I'm hoping that the consultant will give us some indication of whether we need to right size our business district. So it may be true that our business districts are actually too big, and we need to consolidate in order to get some amount of density. It's kind of rare to have this business district sprawled along
117 kind of lends itself to a pretty, vehicle oriented suburb, right? And so if just trying to figure out, if we really do want a little bit on this in the center of town, a little bit on the west side, a little bit of the east side, if that really makes sense. So I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm not sure it's going to look too much at like industrial zones or definitely not the residential districts, but yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess, sorry for mischaracterizing the grant, but I guess what I meant in the town needs to determine in this whole master planning effort, what we want where. And if, I know me personally, speaking just for myself, I would love, to have some shops and small stuff around the common, because I think, there's some parking in the common. It seems like to me like a spot, a place of congregation where, some small type businesses could work in that area. But it's residential. So I feel like it should potentially be business zone, but there's many people in town who feel like that it should stay residential. And those are valid opinions as well. So just as a town in general, we have to come together and determine, what we want that area to be, and all the different areas in town, And then, so if for whatever reason the master planning said, yeah, that town common area should have a small little business district, if that's what they determine, so then it would go before the planning board and they would create a bylaw to rezone it, and it'd go before the town and they would vote on it.
I know there was a survey done. I'd stumbled upon it. I think it was about 10 years ago. It was basically what had created the EDC. It was like, this is what's needed. And part of the outcome of that was the generation of the EDC, or it may have been one of the first actions that EDC took. So I was going through the results. It was, fairly interesting. People settled a little bit on what we have talked about, right? Like getting in some restaurants. Pretty much the majority of people would like to see more of that. I don't think that's probably changed now, but it might be interesting to kind of do a survey again to get a pulse of the residents, to say it's a decade later, we've probably had 50% or more turnover. So what do residents want now? And then maybe we could also gear some questions towards very specific, outcome, answers that we're looking for. So yeah, maybe about, I don't know if it's a transition fully to business district, or if there's a hybrid, what it would be. But if we can kind of orient those questions in a way that allow people the opportunity to kind of have their voices heard, and then give us kind of results, as well as the master, steering committee on what they're trying to assemble. I don't know if there's value in doing that again, but a decade feels appropriate. If it's been that long since it was.
I feel like that's what the master plan committee is doing. I mean, when I went to that forum that you had, and we had to write down what we wanted, there was a lot of that, restaurants were a big thing there too. Is that already in the works?
So I'll say it's kind of a mix. So, economic development is certainly one of the main sections of the master plan. Though I don't necessarily know that we are going to do a neighborhood, dive into town center specifically. So I don't know about that. But then this grant is going to be, the kickoff is this Friday. And so a lot of these types of questions that you're getting at will be, I think, within the survey for residents to answer. So what I can do is, once we are developing that, I can shoot kind of a draft over to you all and just say, does this look like what you were expecting? Or if you want to add in some more targeted questions about zoning, or about, where in town would you like this kind of business to be located? That could be interesting. And that might be a better place to kind of get at that. Because I kind of see this grant as a consultant helping the EDC, the planning board, and the master plan committee kind of figure it out. So
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
I know. It's just frustrating to see something on the market that thing's been on and off the market for years. If you have somebody interested that's I mean, I've heard he's got deep pockets, so he wants to revitalize the barn if he can, with conservation. If you have somebody that wants to do that, you don't want all these things to cause it to just stay the way it is because he's not getting the support he needs from the town. So
Yeah.
That's just my thought on that.
Yeah, I agree, Amy. But it's tough to get things going in this town. It's a lot of, yeah.
Well, I think
tough.
the concern is that it's the historic district too. And so once
it's falling apart, is there better use for it if somebody restores it and whatever. And I mean, you kind of have to, we're going down a whole historical rabbit hole because I like history too, but there's a point where you say, the structure may not be best in its current state. And if somebody's willing to do some restoration of it, that seems like it would be better use of the town center location.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps it could be kind of an expansion of the barn bylaw that we currently have, right? So instead of zoning it business, you could allow special permits that would be like adaptive reuse of a historic structure. So saying you have to keep the facade, but you can have a business inside without changing.
I'd love to know what the new owner has plans for. Like I thought it was very helpful when when the Winters bought their place, when they kind of came before us and told us what they wanted to do, even though, we weren't able to really do a whole lot, but it started good discussion. So I think knowing if there's any potential inkling that someone's like, I would love to, bring a business in, but these are what I'm faced with. Those are like real tangible issues that now are prompting us to take more action. Whereas it is difficult sell to tell people, hey, we want to make this a business, area where businesses come in. They're like, well, what type of businesses? Who's going to dictate, what that is? But if you've got real people that have ideas and they're restricted on what they can do, that might be a little bit easier of a sell because now there's a face to it. It's not just some developer coming in. So I don't know. It's just an interesting way to look at it. If we've got multiple properties now with owners that have potential visions and they're feeling restricted on what they're able to do because of the town laws that are in place.
Yeah, so Valerie actually just had a good oh, sorry, Larry, you were going to say something?
No, it was me. I was just curious. It came up before whether the kitchen sink candle company was on the same parcel of land. If that was the case, is that being used for a business? Would that apply to the other buildings on that land as well?
Right. I think there was a question on that, whether they were somehow combined. I was confused about the whole story, whether they were on the same lot or not. Because
if they are, and the kitchen sink is already a business, then you would think that the other building could just be considered part of that, or
So the way that zoning would handle that is viewing that as an expansion of use, which would be a special permit.
So it's not to say they couldn't. It just there are ways you got to go through it. It could just take some time.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the moral of the story that I'm hearing here is that we want to help them as a group, right? If we can figure out a way to get in front of this guy.
Yeah. So like Valerie was saying, actually, there is the barn bylaw, which says that in a residential district, if you have a historic barn, it could be repurposed as a business essentially. They could live in the house and have some in-home business in the house, whether it's, a home office, home decorating or whatever you were saying, Amy, but, and they could use the barn as a showroom or something like that, so.
And I'm saying what I heard from the realtor and then from the kitchen sink people. So, I don't know if they're getting pushback. I don't know for sure what they're putting, but I personally, as our committee, would like if they are have ideas and they're getting pushback, that we can somehow
even if they're not, it's good to hear what's coming, right? So if someone has a new idea for something in town, it's nice to hear about it, even if they're not feeling it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Valerie agrees or disagrees, but I feel like EDC, if there is something like that where there's a potential business, maybe it doesn't exactly fit in our, bylaws, but I think the EDC can somehow at least let the, the planning board or the ZBA know that, hey, this is a potential, how does this try to shepherd it a little bit, I mean, we're not really, we're more of an advisory board. We're not creating bylaws or, we're not granting authority or anything like that as the EDC, but I feel like we can help out, prospective business owners. And maybe if that area doesn't work, maybe we know of some other vacancy in town that we can, redirect them, So just like you said, Sean, just hearing from them would be good, and see how we can help them. Yeah. So what else were we going to talk about? I mean, so we're going to talk about the vacancy list in general. Valerie, I know that Erica had kind of like had a version of this from probably 4 or 5 years ago, so I'm sure it's super outdated. Is there anything we could do to help you with that? Or I know you're doing so many things, Valerie. Is there anything you need, or is that in progress? Or
it is in progress. It's just taking time. I reached out to the assessors and I have some data now, but I think, it's just going to take time. I'm only able to do a little bit kind of here and there. I think that with the grant happening, it's going to push me to do more, but also the consultant could help out with that as well.
So if you feel like there's anything that, any of us can do to help you out, whether it's like helping contact owners or if you're not at that point, or if you're at that point where, figuring out the utilization percentage, or, just let us know, what we can do to help you. Because I think that is a good tool to have, to share with like 495 partnership and other regional, different chambers of commerces.
Yeah.
And keeping that active, and even, posting it on the website or something, whether it's the town website or the EDC's website, just keeping that active, and what can go in those spots and what's currently there, and, just trying to market the space we have.
I think just to be to be realistic about my time, I think that being able to, I think it is, I don't think I'll have the time to be able to like in real time update a document like that ongoing. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to post it to the website, because it'll be kind of outdated within a couple of months. But there might be a way that that someone on the EDC might be able to, once we have a list, maybe be able to set up some sort of ongoing check-in with the assessors or something.
Yeah, definitely.
That I would, if I had any difference, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're in the planning, you're in ZBA, you're on these, I know you're writing grants, you're doing so many things.
That's an interesting
so
one.
I understand.
I wonder, I don't know if there's another, if you find another town that has something similar that you like, I think that would be interesting to know. Like, for example, I know that I think it's the Westboro EDC has a good website, and I wonder if they have a vacancy list or something online, because it would be, if you find something like that, it'd be great I could then reach out to their planner or their, whoever was organizing it, and kind of ask, how do you get the data? How often do you update it? What kind of a lift is it? Because maybe it's a lot easier than I'm thinking.
Yeah.
On their website right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we can go do some homework and.
Yeah.
I don't want to drag this meeting out forever, so I don't know. Does anybody else have anything else they wanted to talk about in this area? Or I think, we could wrap it up, and we were going to set, did you say we were going to set the meetings for this, or is that planning board?
Thank you. Yeah. No, Eric, I did. Thank you. Good memory. I think that was this one. Yeah. If not, let's just try to do it. So I think our next meeting would be January 3rd. I don't know what your vacation schedules are like. Is that still a good date?
I think it would be okay for me. I'd be back, but if people wanted to wait a week to the 10th, that'd be fine too. I don't know.
Either's fine with me.
Yeah, so just let's stick with the first Monday, just so it's, you know, consistent, I guess.
Sounds good.
And then, so February would be the 7th.
Yep.
And March is the 7th.
Yep.
There's no school vacations the first week typically,
No.
right? No. April 4th, is that on school? I don't know when they are.
It's the third week.
Oh, okay. So April 4th, and then let's skip May. Typically that first Monday is the annual town meeting. So let's stick with those 4 for now. January, February, March, April.
That was April 4th, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about? Or I appreciate you guys listening to the Bolton Robotics presentation. Yeah, they were good.
You're good. Yeah, that was great.
You're gonna figure out zip ties, and then everybody's welcome here 10 a.m. Saturday. I'll have like coffee and stuff for anybody that wants.
Okay, great. Yeah. Valerie, did you want to send an email to the DPW and copy me, or do you want me to send an email?
Yeah, I can. I have a few other things to chat with him about, so I might just call him tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be great. And then just let us know, if we need to, like, you know, overnight some zip ties or, yeah. Well, so I don't even know what length they ended up going with. I think we had like 2 feet long ones, but I mean, they put them up, so they must know, you know, they've done it the past few years.
Yeah, if they don't know, I can ask Rick too.
Yeah.
Only question I have is, who am I sending these meeting minutes to, Valerie?
Yes, that'd be great. Yeah.
And feel free to give me any feedback. I have no idea the level of detail required or the format or anything.
Sure, any notes are
better than anything's better than nothing.
Mostly it's just making sure we know exactly who was here and if any votes are taken.
Please don't write Amy Salowitz was folding clothes the whole time.
All right, so it's really just about attendance and votes. The rest of it is notes. We didn't have any votes tonight that I.
Yeah, and then whatever bullet points or sentences you can put
just very high level bullet points. Yeah.
I probably went a little bit more in depth because I wanted to be a little.
Well, that's fine. The more the better.
Thank you.
Because all these minutes eventually get shared on the website, so people can go back and look, you know, to see what happened at the public meetings.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Second,
third.
Great.
Bye.
I think we all agree. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Have a good night.